Prescribed text for storytelling grade 12. An extract from Life of Pi by Yann Martel. My name isn't the end of the story about my name. When your name is Bob, no one asks you. How do you spell that? Not so with Pisain Molitor Patel. Some thought it was P. Singh, and that I was a Sikh. And they wondered why I wasn't wearing a turban. In my university days, I visited Montreal once with some friends. It fell to me to order pizzas one night. I couldn't bear to have yet another French speaker guffawing at my name, so when the man on the phone asked, "Can I have your name?" I said, "I am who I am." Half an hour later, 2 pizzas arrived for Ian Houlihan. It is true that those we meet can change us, sometimes so profoundly that we are not the same afterwards. Even unto our names. Witness Simon, who is called Peter, Matthew, also known as Levi, Nathaniel, who is also Bartholomew, Judas, not Iscariot, who took the name Thaddeus, Simeon, who went by Niger, Saul, who became Paul. My Roman soldier stood in the schoolyard one morning when I was 12. I had just arrived. He saw me, and a flash of evil genius lit up his dull mind. He raised his arm, pointed at me, and shouted, "It's Pissing Patel." In a second, everyone was laughing. It fell away as we filed into the class. I walked in last, wearing my crown of thorns. The cruelty of children comes as news to no one. The words would waft across the yard to my ears. Unprovoked, uncalled for. "Where's Pissing?" "I've got to go," or "You're facing the wall." "Are you pissing?" or something of the sort. I would freeze or, the contrary, pursue my activity, pretending not to have heard. The sound would disappear, but the hurt would linger, like the smell of piss, long after it has evaporated. Teachers started doing it too. It was the heat, as the day wore on. The geography lesson, which in the morning had been as compact as an oasis, started to stretch out like the Thar Desert. The history lesson, so alive when the day was young, became parched and dusty. The mathematics lesson, so precise at first, became muddled. In their afternoon fatigue, as they wiped their foreheads and the backs of their necks with their handkerchiefs, without meaning to offend or get a laugh, even teachers forgot the fresh aquatic promise of my name and distorted it in a shameful way. By nearly imperceptible modulations, I could hear the change. It was as if their tongues were chariotecs driving wild horses. They could manage well enough the first syllable, the P, but eventually the heat was too much, and they lost control of their frothy-mouthed steeds and could no longer rein them in for the climb to the second syllable, the scene. Instead, they plunged hellbent into sing. And next time round, all was lost. My hand would be up to give an answer, and it would be acknowledged with a yes. Pissing. Often the teacher wouldn't realize what he had just called me. He would look at me wearily after a moment, wondering why I wasn't coming out with the answer. And sometimes the class, as beaten down by the heat as he was, wouldn't react either, not a snicker or a smile. But I always heard the slur. I spent my last year at St. Joseph's School, feeling like the persecuted prophet, Mohammed in Mecca. Peace be upon him. But just as he planned his flight to Medina, the hijra that would mark the beginning of Muslim time, I planned my escape and the beginning of a new time for me.